Hello, we are back. And today we are doing comic flatting. So it's been a little while since I've seen these pages, and hopefully it should be pretty straightforward. Hopefully, let's see. I gotta think of the process a little bit. But we have the line work here. We don't need the ship ref. So we can call this flats. And the idea behind flatting that we're going to be approaching with is that we are not looking for a final product yet. So the idea is I'm actually going to, okay, tolerance, nothing. Yeah, that should be fine. The nice thing is that this is let's see about this, 'cause, there we go. I'm working with a very like tight line work, black and white, no like faded pixels or anything like that, no aliasing. This we can, let's actually do this. Okay, so now, oops. And the idea is with this, we want to actually what are you? Oh, you're the pole. Okay, well, what we want to do is we actually want to take this, correct that. ELE, we want that tighter. That should work. Okay. Let's do that. We're gonna do the face though. This we should be able to just do that. There we go. And oops. Man, this is some sloppy line work. Okay. Okay, now this. I need some reference colors. I should be able to get them all from here. Except for that, but that's alright. All of them down here I can do. Yeah, that's the color. Blue. What is there? Okay, we got the box. Yeah, we'll select it by hand. This thing's straight lines, so. Actually, what am I doing? I don't need to select the colors yet. I just need to have them separated. How do I want to do? The jars will do as one layer. No, we don't want to do that. I want the jars. Oops. We'll just select them by hand here. We'll see how many pages I get through. Essentially what I would like to have by the end of the month is all of the color laid down. It should go relatively fast compared to line work. It will take a while. Can I do that? I think so. Should work. Apparently it selects everything else there. Maybe I can... Oops. I'm not sure how it's... Let's do that. Make sure. Okay. Let's see. This I want to separate. Oh, there's some line work there that's not supposed to be there. There's a couple more things I need to do on the line work side of things. that. How do I want to do the table? We'll just select everything there. That's not right. Let's do yellow. Let's just do this band. We should be able to do something like this. That. Yeah, that works. Okay. Okay. Her. Problem is her hair is very thin, so very disconnected. Dang, that's not right. Correct that. That is right. That should be fine. Let's do this on a separate pair. Should be able to do it. Oops, that's the wrong. We'll clean it after. I should be able to do it. Oops. I think what I should be able to do is select around it. And then what about? Could work. Yeah. That's handy. Probably keep doing that. Okay, so where is panel? Panels here. We only want that. Select that whole panel. I'm gonna go back down to the line work. Put everything just like that. And go back down to flat. That should work. I'm not going to worry about that because that's just going to be a black spot, basically. Darken that. That should be selectable. Oh, right there. It's gonna... easier to see. Okay, one more time. Let's see if this will work. Yep. Okay, hold on. I know what I need to do. Need to start using this technique more. Yeah, there we go. That's much easier. Okay. That being said, that will need to be done up properly. There we go. I'm gonna do that color. I can do that color though. Oh shoot. Yeah, we want to be a bit more precise. Yeah. Ah, shoot. I guess I need to do that. That'll do. That'll do. Okay. Especially considering, you know, that's going to be outside of the expert range anyway. Yeah. Okay. So much the same. Gonna have to do this. And I'm actually gonna just fill this in first. Probably could do some selection stuff here, but eh. Her hair is always a hassle. Wait. We can fix that. That'll be easy. Oops. Let's do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I should be able to just do this now. Oops. Oh, come on. Should be able to just... Oops. That should be this now. Let's just do this. There we go. That's fine. In this case, I think I can do most of this, not all of it, this way. Excuse me. That's under the thing, so I don't need to worry about that. Actually, here's what I can do. That's gonna be trimmed out, so. Oops. There we go. Nice and easy. No, we don't need to worry about that. Oops. Do that. Grab you. And much the same way, what we're gonna do is that work? Not really. Well, you know what? Oh. I think that will work, actually. Yeah. Well, except for panel. Oops. Do that. Whoa. Oops. Dang it. Okay, that's that page so far. This one should be pretty easy. Hardest part's gonna be like the stairs and junk, but it shouldn't be too hard. I should be able to select him all in one go. All right. So let's see if this will. His fingers are. I'll have to fix his fingers a touch to make this work. But the rest of him, hopefully, yeah, some of that line work's gonna make it a little funny, but well, we'll have to do that anyway. I may do this by hand. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Actually, is that on the same layer? No, it's not. Okay. Okay. Well, that actually makes it really easy because we can just turn that line work off. Okay, cool. Oh, but some of the hatching. Oh, that's a. Dang it. Whatever. It'll be fine. Funny that the hatching's there. Okay. Let me do orange, and we're gonna basically kind of close up some of the fingers. So kind of the whole premise behind this, man, some of this line work, it's funny. I was being very quick with some of this line work, which, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, but man, that's all fine. That should be fine. Okay, let's try it. Oops, wrong one. Okay, I think that'll work. Yeah. Only a couple little things here and there. There we go. Nice and easy. And we'll just... And we'll fix up some of the fingers as well. It pays to be particular with your line work. I was a little bit sloppy on the earlier pages. Truth be told, my line work is kind of sloppy in this whole comic. It could be a little bit stronger, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, you know, you can only do so much when you're not getting paid. You do the best you can. Okay. Oops, wrong thing. Okay, so now the real question I have to kind of ask myself is, do I want to... I think I want to separate the stairs. Here's that color. Yeah, there we go. And then grab the entire panel. And the flat. Oops. Well, actually, no, that does work. It'll give a better thing. There we go. But yeah, so kind of the premise behind doing it this way is essentially having a selection of the subject like this makes it a lot easier later on when I'm having to like play around with layers and colors and selection and stuff like that. I'll always be able to grab this whole area. So that comes in handy for certain parts of the process. This should be pretty straightforward. I should generally be able to just do this. The only thing is maybe some of the hair. I can go back in though. Oops, that's the wrong one. Almost. Okay. Let's do green. Okay. Yeah, almost. Almost worked. Okay. We can also do that. Is it getting through somewhere? Oh. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna do that. We'll keep that. Also, the hair is not especially defined there. But we'll actually kind of fill it in right here. That I can delete. There we go. He should be fine to do that with. Except for down there, I might have to kind of do that a little bit. His hair shouldn't be a problem. It kind of looks like it's on the inside as well. Dang it. Is it because of that? Hold on. Let's try that. There we go. Where's the gap there? There shouldn't be any gap there. Only selecting on the inside. That's annoying. Not there. Not down there. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Why aren't you? Yeah, you're not working right. I don't see where the gap is though. From here all the way down to here. You have a zero tolerance. Is it that? Maybe it's that. No? I don't really understand. Okay. Is it because... Oh, it's because it's going all the way around. Let's just do this. There we go. Okay. What I do need to do, though, is... apply a bit of a gradient here. The floor is background, so I'll handle that as background. That won't be a problem. Carpet isn't. Dang it. That might be a problem there. As for the doorway, I'm gonna be doing light there. I'll probably, that's background, but this structure isn't. That I'll just throw. Okay. All right. This should be really easy. Actually, oops. I should be able to. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, you know what? We are going to do this. Okay. I should. There we go. I'll do this. There we go. I'm gonna separate the hand and possibly the thing. So in order to do that, should be able to just select the outer edge. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Actually, we're going to color this in. Well, there we go. We'll just need the green. All right, that's another page done. That's actually excellent. We're gonna close this. This page will be not too bad. This actually won't be too bad. Let's see. I have how many pages? I have a lot of pages. I have a lot of pages to do. Keep in mind this is just flats, so you know. Of the 25 to 39, what's that? 14 pages. Yeah, 14 pages. And I've gotten 2 done in an hour. Oh, probably another 7 hours worth of flatting. That's not too bad. That's actually not too bad. I can get the flatting done in like a week. Less than that, honestly. Okay. These should be pretty easy. And some of the pages should be pretty simple. This one shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Dang it. I want that to be clear. Later on, I kind of figured her hair out a lot more. Took me forever to figure it out. But until then, it's kind of going to be a mess. That's alright. Come on. Why would that do that? There we go. Man, there's so many things I'm gonna have to remember how to do because it's been so long since I've done color. Okay, this... We'll see how this works. Is that separate line work actually? Yes, it is. Let's go. I was actually smart. Oh, that's not gonna work. Hold on. There she is. There she is. That's. We'll worry about that later. I'm gonna separate this part from this part. Maybe from the wall as well. Yeah. So, how do I want to do that? We want to do it this way. Oops. Oops. There we go. Oh, oops. There we go. Was I smart with this one? Let's find out. Kind of? Not really? Where is it losing? Okay, hold on. Like this should be fine. Closed gap should be able to handle that. We can't handle this, most likely, but There we go. Yeah, okay. What happens here? Man, it's kind of wild going back to this line work after so long. Like, wow. It works, but I've gotten a lot better since then. We're gonna separate the jar. Okay, 3 pages done. This one should be nice and easy as well. I'm gonna separate each dune though. This one. Wow, okay, that's... Okay, I gotta fix that. Reference. Let's we're gonna make it really obnoxious color. You and you. Hold on. Come on. Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. I collapse all my layers. That's dumb that you can do that. Out of the blue. That's annoying. Glad that I saw that. Come on. Oh. Come on. The jar we can keep on the same layer. This one here. This one I also need to clean up the line work on. There we go. How long have I been animating? I've been animating for 10 years now ish, something like that, kind of on and off where I can. It really depends on how you want to add it up. The first time I animated was a little over 10 years ago, so probably like 11 years ago, and I've been doing it fairly consistently since then. As far as comics go, I'm a little newer to comics. I started doing comics, or rather this comic, about 4 years ago now. A little while. Nice and long, yeah. Thing is, though, that I've never been like fully committed to doing animation, like really getting into animation, you know. So there's some people who like, it's like, yeah, I trained for 3 years to become a friggin' crazy good animator, and now I can do all this crazy stuff and whatnot. I never really did that. I'm competent. Yes. It's a little busy. I was kind of lazy with this page, but that's okay. Some pages got to be a little lazy. Truth be told, if it were up to me, I would, and technically it is, but so I kind of tell a lie there, but I do miss animating more consistently. It's just that this comic has been my big project of the past 4 years, and I don't stop working on something until it's finished. So I still have a ways to go on it. Jar, that's fine. This will separate it in case I want to do some like other effects on it. But yeah, no, animation is what I really do enjoy. But yeah. Do I think it'll turn out really good or bad? The comic page? I think it'll turn out all right. You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to say when you're in this phase because, like, obviously everything looks like clown vomit when you're doing flats. But once things come together, I mean, this is more or less going to be some along the lines of the end result. This is a very, very particular lighting, but you know, going for something like this, or you know, maybe more accurately with the lighting and everything like that, something like this. I actually like how this one came out. So it'll look like something like that, probably. That's kind of the nice thing with color is it's sort of like I already have a method. I need to remember what that method is because it's been over a year since I did coloring for this comic. But once I figure it out, it'll be fine. It's a pretty straightforward system. Thank you. It's certainly a lot of work, that's for sure. I think, yeah, okay. I'll color it this. I am looking forward to this project being done, though. That being said, it's not going to be done probably for another year or two. Hopefully sooner than later, but there's just so much that needs to be done still. This chapter was a lot of work, though, because... So this is all one chapter on the left side. You can't really see it on the phone side, unfortunately. Let me go ahead and drag it out. So, okay, so all these pages, you can kind of see it on the phone side now. 39 pages, that's all one chapter. That's all chapter 3. That's a big chapter. So, next chapter, chapter 4, is going to be only 20 pages. I'm going to make it 20 pages. There's not nearly as much that needs to happen in that chapter, so I should be able to do it relatively easily. It's going to be a lot of work still, but the more pages you add, like 40 simple pages is still more work than 20 complicated pages, I would say. There's just, as far as like time sync goes. Let's do this. Because it just, all that time really adds up, having to do this over and over again with the colors and everything. And actually, I find that like you get a little bit of a reset when it comes to getting to the next chapter. So chapter 1, 2, and whatever, like basically up to this page, page 24, is released on a website I have running. There should be a link down below. Let me know if it doesn't work, if you do end up going there. We had a little bit of trouble with that a little while back. I fixed it, but I have no idea what went wrong. Because the way I fixed it was completely arbitrary and stupid. So it could happen again at any time. But yeah, so you can read it as much as out right now. Is that gonna work? Yeah, that worked. Okay, cool. Eventually, I do want to do probably like a crowdfund or something like that to do a actual physical release of the book. That's the ultimate goal for it. So we'll see. Oops. Which I'll have to figure out how to promote and all that. That's gonna be the hard part. Okay, should be easy enough. Seems to be working for you. That's good. Awesome. Yeah, now I'm just a little paranoid all the time that it's like, oh yeah, check this out, you know, and then it doesn't work, and it's like, oh. And it wasn't working in a really concerning way, because it was basically saying, hey, this website doesn't save. Keep in mind, it's, you know, it's through something called NeoCities. It's, you know, used by a lot of different users. There's nothing sketchy about it. And so it's like, but if a message like that pops up, then it's like, oh, you know, where's this guy trying to send me? It's like, great, you know? So glad that it's working again. Yeah, I went very minimalist for this, which works for the most part, I think. What did I? Wow, I kind of just gave up on his hand there. Hold on. Okay. That I'm not going to accept. Doesn't need to be complicated, but I need something there. Okay. There we go. Yeah, eventually there will be words. It'll make sense. To give a little bit of context, so he's a golem. He's made out of clay and all that kind of stuff, and he actually saved her, and they're actually releasing. So like it's kind of weird. Basically, he has a hobby of making other golems, right? So they carve them out. It's a whole process and stuff like that, and then when they're ready, they release them. So that's the context of this page, and yeah, but it'll make more sense with the lettering and the wording and everything like that, and in the context of the full story. There's a whole kind of narrative context to it. This page, I have to remind myself, this should have Braille on it. So I need to write something out, translate to Braille, and then put it into the book. So eventually, I'll get to that eventually. Okay, how do I want to separate these elements? They're trying to pop it. Nah, nothing like that. It's more wholesome than that. Besides, they're in the middle of the desert. There's nothing to take over. Nah, it's just kind of like a sentimental scene. Kind of a life goes on kind of idea. Honestly, this part of the story is a little bit calm before the storm. And oh boy, the storm is coming. All right. There shouldn't be any gaps. Really? Where is it having a hard time selecting? Hold on. That's not. Is it? Oh, it kind of is. Am I crazy? Oh, I am. Hold on. Okay. I forgot to set the flats layer. That's annoying, but whatever. Actually, I know why. Hold on. That being... Let's just do that. And then... Actually, you know what? Hold on. How do I want to do this? Ideally, let's do this. Dang it. Quartz. Let's actually, I'm gonna temporarily close that off. There we go. Okay, that'll make it easier. Now I can erase this and erase this. Think the art looks good? Thank you. Oops. Been using this technique a lot, actually. Okay. Nope. Okay. Let's separate the post. I'm gonna want to do different effects on that, so let's give that just general color. I'm actually gonna select this specifically. I don't feel like dealing with that thing. That. Do I want to separate this? I don't really need to separate that, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. We're going to just... Actually, yeah, whatever. It'll be fine. Actually, you know, I have a better idea. Panel. There we go. Blue. There we go. Okay. How do I want to do this now? I'll separate that. Yeah, okay. Feel like teal. Yeah. Let me grab her color. Now, on one hand, it's nice looking back at my older line work and thinking to myself, wow, I really have improved with my line work. But at the same time, it's like, dang, I've improved with my line work. I could do this so much better now. I'll just have to live with it. Thing about it is, like, if you try to make the perfect book, you're gonna be working on it forever. Sooner or later, you just have to... Oh, shoot. Dang it. You just have to kind of accept that it's like, okay, well, I'll do it better in the next project. That can be erased. Actually, that can even be erased. Okay. Oh, that's the ring. Okay. I'll have to correct that. I stream Mondays and Thursdays, so you can see me on Thursday. I stream a little later than this, so it might be hard for you to catch. I would like to do more streams, just in general, but it's kind of hard with my schedule right now. So, at the very least, you can probably catch me again on Monday, next Monday. That's not the right landmark. But I do appreciate you stopping by, for sure. Have a good one. Okay. Let's do the jars. Where is it? Come on. Okay, hold on. Let's do all the little bits and bobs actually first. Almost. Actually, I think I can if I just kind of reinforce some spots. Dang it. Forgot one. Dang it. There we go. thing. Oh, yeah, that works. Need to get rid of this. Time is it anyway? How long have we been going? Almost 2 hours here. We'll almost have the flats done before long. That's nice. Okay. Let's grab that and go to panels and reference layer only. And oops. Ah, that's annoying. That's kind of one of the downsides to doing it this way, is the line work kind of gets contaminated, so makes it a little bit annoying. It won't affect anything, it's just annoying for selection purposes. So I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay, oh. That was weird. Oh, come on. Interesting. All right. Do panel. There we go. That should be fine. That won't be fine. Whichever. Why is it doing that? Okay. All right. That should be fine. Oops. Where? There we go. Pick these guys now. And let's give them something kind of bright, like yellow. I still don't know what their colors are going to be. I'll have to figure that out when I get there. That'll be interesting. All right, that's another page done. So flatting's going pretty quick. That's nice. A nice change of pace. Literally. Come on. Let's... Come on. That actually looks solid. A little more here. The rope will be its own color. Okay, let's go and do this now. Actually, hold on. That is... Okay, that one, that, of course. Not ideal for that rope to be selected like that. Selected or deselected like that. Let me grab the orange. Okay. Eat that. Probably gonna actually clean that up. Just to make it easy on myself. Oh. That, the boat can be like red, the rope will be yellow. Oops. Oops, that's the wrong color. There we go. All right. I'll worry about that in a second. All of this is going to be at night, so it's going to be interesting coloring it. In fact, like the next few pages are all at night, so that'll all be really interesting. Actually, I don't need to do this. Do these by hand here. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. All right. I probably should have given horizon line. Put one in, although it's kind of tight. I might just do a gradient. Oh, that's a background. I'll figure that out when I do the backgrounds. Okay, that worked. I'm gonna want these guys separated. Come on. I'll have to clean this up. That's alright then. Do that. Hello, guilty. Hope you well. Okay, let's do. That'll do. Man, my left ear really likes this song. I don't know what's up with that. That's kind of funny. He figured out how to do stereo, and he was like, "I am going to make this work." Okay. Do that. Think his side hurts from shoveling stones? Oh, that'll do it. But you know what they say, those stones won't shovel themselves. It's not a scene. It is now. Don't worry about that after the fact. Done. Man, it got dark. Guess it's that time of year. Okay. That's in the world. Dumb daylight savings, yeah. That was the nice thing about being in Arizona. No daylight savings. They're one of the only 2 states that don't do daylight savings. Or are they the only ones? I can't remember if Hawaii does daylight savings or not. Actually, that's fine. I think Hawaii might. I don't remember. Maybe they're the only one. Screw it, we don't need more sun. It's Arizona. We got enough as is. Because I really do. Nothing but sun down there. I'm actually gonna do the smoke on a separate layer. Hate this winter stuff. I don't mind winter. I like. That was one thing that wasn't nice about being in Arizona was like, you would just like, it was every day was the exact same, right? You'd walk outside and there wouldn't be a cloud in the sky, and it just felt like time was standing still. It was kind of awful. I actually like dynamic weather. I like not every day being the same. Nice and rainy. It's like, yeah. Thank you. My socks and shoes are no fun. That's what boots are for, my friend. But yeah, I get it. Everybody likes snow. I don't mind snow, honestly, generally speaking. It does get tiresome, but then spring comes back around, it's great. I really do like spring. Spring is very nice. But that was the thing, like, there was like no alternative to summer in Arizona. It was hot, slightly kind of comfortable, like actually pretty comfortable in the winter, and then blazing burn your freaking face off, like laser from space type stuff. And that was the weather in Arizona. But yeah, I cannot like describe how strange it was waking up every day and just having the exact same weather and no clouds in the sky all the time. Okay, I can't do that color. Okay. I'll do this color. Sounds pretty extreme. I mean, it is. It's the desert. But like, I remember a friend of mine who lives down there. She said someone she knew had put on like chapstick, and it was so hot out one time that he literally, like, his lips started to burn because the chapstick started to like boil essentially, or just started like burning, right? And then you have like problems where the asphalt just starts melting and friggin' paint on signs starts running because it's just so ridiculously hot. Although I remember a while back there was an image going around of like, it looked like melted lampposts and stuff like that. And people were like, oh my gosh, it gets so hot in Arizona, the lampposts melt. And someone comes along and is like, the melting point of steel is 1200 degrees Celsius. No, lampposts don't melt. A lot of other things melt in Arizona heat, but not lampposts. Your car might, but you know, or rather the plastic in your car might, but no, not lampposts. Time is 6:02. I'm not gonna go for too much longer here, although we have made pretty dang good progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages done so far. Oh hey, a nice little illustration of the S to C curve system. All right, this one's gonna be a bit of work. I might, you know what, I'm gonna take a break from this. No chapstick in Arizona, got it. I mean, I don't know, I just not in 118 degree weather. Not a lot of anything in 118 degree weather, to be honest, because yeah, that gets hot. 118, by the way, like 46, I think. Let me double check that. Celsius. Actually hotter, like 100, like 47 or 8. Oops. Yeah, 48. 48 degrees Celsius. That's close. 114 is 46. Okay, but I'm gonna do some frames, because why not? still have to get through the lighting, so we'll do this for a little bit, and then as a kind of like a cool down, and then we'll go from there and probably wrap up for the night. My word. Okay, I gotta turn on some light. 1 second. All right. That's where's wing. Where's the light? Got it. This. Oops. Well, for anyone else. Anyone else comes along, then they'll realize my pain. Because I had to do friggin' I had to move in 118 degree weather. It was nuts. It was scorching. Do this. Once. Personally, I think we should measure everything in Kelvin. Which actually, it's not hard to convert Kelvin over to Celsius or vice versa. You just subtract 273? No, add 273. Because absolute zero is negative 273 Celsius. You add 273 to whatever you've got, and that gives you the temperature. Why Kelvin? Because it is the superior notation, temperature measurement. Let's see now how close you are to absolute zero. It's important stuff. Don't want to ruin the universe or anything like that. Can't see them, but I'm rubbing my hands together. Now, why would I be doing that? Whatever makes you say that. Did I have a good Halloween, by the way? Yeah, I had a good Halloween. I didn't do much, but you know, that's a good Halloween in my book. I worked that day, so it wasn't a bad work day or anything. Got some candy out of it at work. Yeah, that wasn't a bad Halloween. What kind of candy? Mostly like candy bars, Kit Kats, Crunch, Reese's peanut butter cups. Good stuff. You know, the usual. Why do I do this to myself? I didn't have to do the lighting. I could have probably come up with another method, another easier method, but no. Actually, probably will try to look into a more convenient method of doing this next time. I'll have to think about how I want to go about it. But for now, I'm committed. I mean, part of it is I want to make this look good, so. But there's ways of doing it a little bit faster. So when I had to do the bigger projects that are actually like multiple minutes long, I'm gonna be very careful about how many frames I use and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of funny. I don't remember the last time I had a candy bar before getting some on Halloween. I don't eat a lot of candy. Let me just see how the shadow looks, honestly, in general. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Gives that nice depth. Yeah. Coming along. Oops. Yeah, it's kind of funny when I was eating the Crunch bar. I was just sat there eating it like a normal candy bar, you know, chocolate bar, and I'm like, what was the last time I did this? What was the last time I actually like just ate a chocolate bar? I wonder if I can kind of move this around a little. Thing we need to do is also oops. Let's see now. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah. Probably do this. Need to kind of. That'll work. Okay, but let's see, what time is it? 24. We can go for a couple of hours now. Let's watch it back again here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Still a lot of frames to go, but we'll get through it. Once you start doing lighting, that's when things really come alive, for sure. And then when you do composite, that's when things really, really come alive. All right. That being said, I am going to call it a night here. Yeah, we're going to call it a night. But I want to check something real quick. Let's see if we can do something kind of fun. Ah, looks like it ended. Someone else was streaming. I was thinking it'd be fun to drop by their stream, but not this time. All right. That being said, gonna finish it up. I'll be back on Thursday doing more flatting. We're gonna try to get through. I'm gonna be doing flatting in between those days as well, so we'll see how far along I am by Thursday. My goal is gonna be, because I've been moving pretty dang quick through these pages, my goal is gonna be as a creator, I guess I can give a quick shout out. Creator by the name of New, N-U-U-U. They do a lot of like fan art stuff and whatnot, and do these short little animations based on like you and Nikki and whatnot. It's not the same as it's not Gobu, which is another person who does that, but they do some really neat stuff. And recently they've gotten into live streaming. It's fun to watch their process. So So, and I miss raiding. I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing from Twitch that I really do miss was doing raids. Will it be easy to find? I'll put the channel in YouTube. 1 second in the chat. Because they do cool stuff. I'll throw them both. Yeah. They're not streaming anymore, so maybe another time we'll hit them up if they are at the same time I'm mending. But check them out if you want. Otherwise, I'll be back on Thursday to do more color stuff, more color flatting, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, color should go faster than line work. Line work is always a little bit of a slog. So that'll be nice. We're gonna make some good progress. We're getting really close to chapter 3 being done. I'm so happy about that. It has been, I've literally been working on it for a year or two now. That chapter for a year or two, which is crazy. Crazy that I got the other 2 chapters done in about a year and a half. But anyway, we'll make progress on it. We'll get through it. We'll do the things and the stuff and the yada yada. Until next time, though, catch you all later. Hope to see you there on Thursday. Always appreciate it. It was a quiet stream, but not a bad one. So yeah, catch y'all later.